Yes, YouTube is good.
Okay.
Instagram's always a little. Come on. Come on.
We're giving this away today, right?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Instagram is good, I think.
Yeah, Instagram should be good.
Cool.
Instagram and YouTube is here.
Cool.
Yeah, ready for the giveaway? Yes,
Yeah.
we are. What is this thing? What are we doing?
The OTS 126.
PP2000.
Yes.
The Long Boy PP2000.
The Long Boy PP2000. Very cool gun. You don't see too many of them on the field.
No.
This thing is definitely a unique collection to be added to your collection. I think that's really, really cool. But what is going on, guys, and welcome to the Lunchtime Live. This is your 1 hour you get to ask your airsoft and non-airsoft related questions, and we will answer them to the best of our abilities, uninterrupted for an hour. Well, I can't guarantee that it's uninterrupted.
Yeah.
Sometimes the door does open. But go ahead, feel free to ask your airsoft and non-airsoft related questions right here. We're on Instagram, YouTube, all that fun stuff. And then at 1:30, we're gonna give away a toy gun.
Yep.
That was an Instagram giveaway, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Well, look at that. Look at that. Is there audio problem on my end or yours?
I can't hear anything. Yep, we're checking right now.
Let's see.
1 second on the audio if you guys can't hear us.
It sounds like it might be your end.
Yeah, we can hear us coming through, so it sounds like we are good on our end.
So yeah, maybe close out and come back to the app. Sometimes it's a little glitchy. Or try YouTube.
Well, they can't hear you.
It might be cutting in and out.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. Any good ideas to camouflage my Maple Leaf sniper with good, I assume, stuff, so I can't be seen on the green field for like $30 to $50?
For like $30 or $50. I mean, like, honestly, $30 or $50. What I would do is I would get some netting, because there's not really like something that's like off the shelf you could do for $30 or $50. But like immediately spray paint it. Is going to be the cheapest thing, the fastest thing to do. If you want to do anything a little bit further than that, is get some of that like big mesh netting that's like fabric, but it's like, I don't think it's like cotton. It's like a, I don't know, like if you go on Amazon and search up like nylon fabric swath, there's some big ones that you can get that's like a blanket. You can spray paint that a certain color, and then you can actually zip tie different things onto that, and then that would be a pretty quick and easy way to start making kind of like a leaf wrap or something like that. That'd be a really, really quick and easy and affordable way to do a pretty effective camouflage for your rifle.
One quick trip to Joann Fabrics. Grab yourself some fake vines.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Michael's.
Yeah, if you're trying to keep it cheap,
Yeah.
I think that would be a really good, I mean, I wouldn't say the best because they're probably so vibrant from trying to look real.
Yeah, they're not going to fit in.
But if you kind of add those, get them dirty, maybe even
Spray paint them just a touch.
break up the silhouette of your airsoft gun, because our minds are kind of like trained to spot shapes of things that are familiar. That's why like the Viper hoods exist, because our bodies know when we see this shape of our shoulders, like that's a person. So if you do that with your airsoft gun as well, it can kind of help blend, keep you not seen.
Yeah.
So good, try that. Save your, it's only gonna cost you a few bucks, hopefully. So
Yeah.
man, Instagram's going crazy. Let's see. All right. Cool. What do we got? Hello. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the live. Flux airsoft helmets, good for slinging BBs and shredding down ski slopes.
Yeah, he sent me a photo. Ross was he like couldn't find his helmet or something, and then he like sent me a photo of him wearing a flux on like the chairlift with his like camo netting on and everything. I was like, that's actually pretty sick.
Hey, I mean, it's not a bad.
I mean, it's a bump helmet. I don't know if I would ever recommend it like as a rated, like if you're gonna hit a tree with a helmet, it's not gonna help the same way that a ski helmet would. But
Right.
that's really funny.
I guess it's better than nothing.
Oh, it's way better than nothing. Yeah.
What is it? Are you guys going to Thunderdome trying to order pyro?
No, we are not going to Thunderdome. Thunderdome, I believe, is vended by junkies. So we generally don't vend Thunderdome.
There you go. For anyone asking about the giveaway, it is at 1:30.
Yep.
So we have not announced it yet. So make sure you're here for 1:30, and we will draw the winner. Sounds good on my end. Okay, good. What's up, homies? When the pilgrimage to Hawaii, the Hawaii BB Wars.
Don't know yet, man. Definitely talking about that and some future plans of some bigger trips that are going to probably happen in the next few years because we're trying to plan that out. Maybe do 1 or 2 things like that every year and pick what we want to do and then try and hit the other ones in the future years. So we're definitely talking about doing it. We just got to figure out the planning and everything like that.
Maybe in the future.
Zach, you're not allowed to win the giveaway.
Yeah.
Hope I win the giveaway. Polar Star. No.
I think Polar Star can figure out a way. If I can put an F2 in this, then you can have it.
Yeah.
Is that fair? I would love an F2 in that. Okay. How much are the OTS magazines?
I think I want to say they're like 45 a piece. The like smaller ones. I think there's extended ones too, but I think they're like 45 to like $60 a mag because they're full metal and like Ross is looking out for us right now. Let's see what we have.
Go to the gun and then it should be in the suggest like at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's 60 for the extended.
$60 for the extended. I want to say it's like 45 for the regular. I want to say. I'm not going to touch it because if I touch it, then they'll take the live down.
So you're going to be spending pretty average gas blowback prices, anywhere from that $40 to $60 per magazine. It's pretty standard, unfortunately, with gas blowback magazines.
Yeah, that's pretty par for the course.
It's actually on the cheaper side
Yeah.
for some of them, which is insane to think about. But
Like some of those
the
GHK,
GHK mags were painful.
they're ridiculously painful.
I think they're almost up to $80 a mag at this point.
And that's like, is that just the green gas? Because I think the CO2 is higher.
That's the CO2 one.
Yeah, they're expensive.
The green gases are just a little cheaper, but
Fight Club? Yes, this is Fight Club. Don't talk about it.
yeah, you can't mention it just because you said that. It isn't. Walmart bike helmet.
I mean, yeah.
Here's a good one. We actually haven't seen this one in a little while. I want to get into airsoft. What gun should I start with? You would think that this would be a simple answer.
Yeah.
But in today's world, there are a lot of manufacturers making a lot of different entry-level platforms, particularly in M4, and that's usually what we suggest starting with. My tried and true for many, many, many years is, if you want to save as much money as possible, a G&G combat machine is always going to be your best friend. They're very, very simplistic, and they are basic, and I mean that in the terms of a lot of airsoft guns are coming with MOSFETs and crazy upgraded buckings and all these kind of, fancy rails and stocks, and they're made of like metal. But the Raider from G&G has been like, if you want to plug a battery up into an airsoft gun and play with it, it does it every single time.
Yeah, I agree with the Raiders. Probably going to be my recommendation as well. There's a few, and like Wes was saying, there's a few that have come out in the last few years that have kind of like tried to take the crown, and there's a few that have done that as well. Like Specna has some good offerings as well. But realistically, what we're going to recommend to you is something that's going to at least last you for, a few years. If you don't mess with any of the internals, you don't mess with any of that, it's going to get you on the field, it's going to get you playing. The Raider's always going to do that. It always has done that. Historically, it's been the go-to for a lot of guys starting out. It is now a little bit pricier than some other options, but you do get the reliability that it comes with for that. You will need to buy a battery. It will come with a high cap, but a lot of places will recommend you run a mid cap. But you will need to buy a battery and charger with it. So that is one downside to getting the Raider, but we do recommend it for the reliability, especially if you're just getting into the sport. And the reason I feel like we recommend an M4 is because it's going to be a lot easier to get mid-caps for it. There's going to be people around you with extra magazines if you run out of BBs in the middle of the game and you can't go back. It's going to be a lot more, it's going to be an easier step-in point using an M4 than a different platform. AKs are, popular, but they're nowhere near as popular as M4 platforms are. So that's why I recommend an M4 platform, and that M4 platform is going to be the Raider.
Yeah, so just something to consider. If you have any other further questions, you can always shoot us an email. We're happy to sort something out that works better for maybe your play style or budget, but 9 times out of 10, the Raider will be good for you. Oh, where are we at here? Thunder, get some dome. Thank you, Eric. Oh my God. Based Eric, 2-man enter, 1-man leaves. Rigged if he wins.
Yes.
Fight Club question mark?
No, that's what I was referring to when Kev said it.
First rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. No one talks about it. You guys once sent me a little care package with a few goodies for free, and I'm happy to say I still have the shirt that came with it.
That's awesome, dude.
That is dope.
Thank you.
Because we're out of shirts. So hold on to that near and dear.
Yeah.
Good day. Do you know of any events coming up that are primarily building type engagements in Central U.S.? Thanks.
The number one that you're talking about is going to be anything that's going to be held at Muscatatuck or MUTC Training Center. That's going to be dead center of the U.S. in Indiana, and that's going to be pretty urban training environment. A lot of buildings, a lot of flanking routes and everything. It's a very, very large facility. I believe that there's going to be some games there again this year, but nothing really confirmed yet. I would keep an eye on AMS, MSW, Mere Tactical. Those are the 3 that have used it, larger groups that have used it in the past. Lion Claws has used it in the past as well. So those are 4 event producers that have used that facility. I would recommend looking into any time they say that it's going to be in, I'm trying to remember the name of the town that Mutsy's in.
Oh, don't ask me. My geographies.
But it's Muscatatuck Training Center, METC, in Indiana. The one that I recommend, though, if you're looking for really good urban combat, is not going to be in the central U.S. It's actually going to be the East Coast, southern East Coast. It's going to be Guardian Center. If you ever want to have a really good time with urban engagements with airsoft range and distance, Guardian Center is probably going to be the best bet for you. GTI is also good, but I don't feel like it's building-to-building fighting. It's a lot more close combat in a building fighting.
Yeah, once you get inside of GTI, it turns into that, but outside of it, it's very woods maneuvering.
Yeah.
We could also find events that are using like old textile plants or like old buildings that have been shut down. If you really want that, like, what would you call it?
Like that feel, that like
post-apocalyptic.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Just, everything's broken, but it's still there. It's very fun.
Some groups to look into for stuff like that is going to probably be, that we know of, is going to be Emsato and Lion Claws. Those guys are really good at finding unique AOs that are kind of more like one-time use. Like, you'll probably get a game out of it, and that's going to be like, destroyed like a few months later. So those are 2 event companies to look at that are really good at finding unique one-time use AOs that are going to be kind of like that torn down, torn apart, about to be like destroyed buildings that you get to play airsoft in. And you do get some really cool memories out of it that are just going to be like those one-time things that you get bragging rights that you were able to go to. So those are two that I would look into if you're looking for something like that.
Can you HPA the OTS? Yeah, we got to know if we can HPA. So
Yes.
you can't put an HPA engine in it.
No.
I was joking. But you can.
Polar Star could figure it out.
So yes, if they really wanted to, they could. But we don't see these ever, so probably won't see an HPA kit for them.
No.
But you can add an HPA mag adapter to feed high pressure air into the gas reservoir on the magazine, so you don't have to use green gas, and it works really well.
Yep.
Very consistent pressure per trigger pull, no cool down, and it's not as affected by the weather, if affected at all. But the only downside to that is if you have 5 magazines with all an individual HPA adapter, each reload you'll have to
That sucks.
disconnect from your gun, reconnect to your next magazine, drop the mag, fresh mag goes in.
I had a KWA LM4 that I did that. I tapped every mag.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really fun, and actually it made the LM4 usable indoor because I didn't have an M-Pass, but I could regulate the pressure with my tank now. And it was really fun to use. It was just reloads were just so abysmal.
Yeah.
Actually, I had to get a second line to like make it like usable.
Yeah, it's an efficient and inefficient system, and efficient for reasons and inefficient for others. It's a catch-22.
There are a lot of adapters nowadays, though. I think you might have talked about it, but like from TAP and primary airsoft that stay in the gun, and then you use AEG magazines to load BBs in and out of. So now you're just dropping a regular AEG mag into a gas blowback. You're routing the air up basically beside the channel that the BBs would go up through, and that's operating the bolt of the gas blowback. So those are kind of the hybrid, and honestly what we recommend if you're trying to HPA tap something that uses gas blowback in magazines and stuff like that.
Yes, Vic, you're absolutely correct. There was a company that used to make adapters to connect HPA air directly into a GBB that allows you to use an AEG midcap. That is a Daytona gun.
Oh yeah.
You don't see too many of those.
No,
anymore.
those are very rare nowadays.
Daytonas are very cool. They do turn a gas blowback rifle into essentially what Tom just described with the magazine adapter.
Yep.
But you're feeding an engine itself inside of the gun, then using AEG mags. Very cool concept, and you get recoil.
Yeah.
As well. You do keep that. So cool, finicky, expensive. Don't shoot very good.
Yeah.
They're not really worth it other than fun factor.
They're super fun. I think if you were gonna have a Daytona, I would recommend having an LMG Daytona because then you don't really care about the spread. I mean, to a point, but that's what I would recommend if you're going for a Daytona. But again, that's hard to come by at this point.
Very. For anyone who is asking, giveaway will be at 1:30. So I'm just gonna keep saying that randomly. My dog Tom.
What's up, buddy?
I would like some free swags. What do I have to sacrifice? A goat?
Yes, that's an acceptable sacrifice. We just need proof of goat sacrifice.
Bragging rights for Six Flags New Orleans.
Yeah, dude, that was super fun.
Very cool place.
That's kind of what I mean. So VFA is another company that does it, but and Mere Tactical actually is another company that does some unique locations as well. That was a blast.
Oh, Six Flags was very
Six
cool.
Flags was super fun.
Yeah, I just liked being in New Orleans the most.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
The airsoft was really fun, but it was just hotter than hell. So that does take away from it a little bit.
Yeah, it was hot.
But overall, like just being able to play at a place like that and even snap some photos, it was very, very cool. Vic has a goat, so if you need one to sacrifice,
go to Vic's house.
Hit him up.
Yeah.
Oh, Vic, with the big questions, but we have 10 minutes, so that till the giveaway, so that's fine. Does anyone else feel like airsoft has really started to die down due to the huge influx in 2020, which caused what felt like the airsoft dark age, and now it's rebuilding back to what it once was? So that's an interesting question because referring to causing an airsoft dark age is weird because an influx is good.
Yeah, but I get what he said because I feel like it created that.
And he's right.
Yeah.
I think all it did was give a big boost in the spotlight to what airsoft is. Now these are long-term effects.
Yeah.
It maybe brought some more eyes onto what it is that we do and may have brought in some new long-term players that would have never seen it.
Yeah.
And then all the people who did jump on board in 2020 to get into it, the ones who stuck around and are continuing to play are the ones that you'd want to play with anyway. So I think if that's true, yeah, it might be a return to what people view as better. But I think overall it was a good little boom. Give that one big boom.
I feel like in 2020...
Do you like that, Ross?
I feel like in 2020 we did see this big influx of people who either came back because they were stuck inside for a long period of time in 2020, and people came back and new people got involved in it, which was really good and bad. It was really good, like Wes said, it had some new people coming in, and then it was also kind of bad because you had a lot of people who had no idea what it was, and there were some people that came in that kind of weren't integrated, or they didn't have the same kind of integration path that a normal person would. And so they didn't like kind of get the whole community vibe, I feel like. And now we had this dark age because we had this big pullback of, people didn't like some of the newer crowd that was coming in. The newer crowd didn't stay very long, so then we had this very big long-term pullback from it. And now I think, we're kind of rebuilding from that, and we've already been rebuilding, and I think it's actually starting to climb back up now, which is really cool to see. And it's become more organic again, right? Like I'm talking about people coming in, recurring customers and recurring players, we're seeing a lot more of that now. And some of them are newer faces that just came up in the last, 5 years. So, wow, that was 5 years ago. That's weird.
Very weird.
That's very weird.
It has been a long time since 2020. E-House says, "Is airsoft dying?" ? The question being asked by airsofters more frequently than any other in my 20 years in this hobby. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a hot topic, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think airsoft's dying. I think the community has changed a lot, and the original community has gotten a lot older too. And I noticed that when we travel and we see different things, there's a lot of guys who want their old original field back that might have closed, or they want their old original community back that might not play anymore, or stuff like that. There's this, I think there's this player lifespan that we talk about a lot in the industry, of people coming in and getting out, and a lot of the guys who, from like 2014 and even younger, like 2006, people that got in at that time, it's a very different time in 2024, 2025 to play in their local areas and on a national level. There's a lot that's changed. I don't think it's dying. I think it's become very different than 2006 and 2014 and 2020, 2020. There's very, very different eras of it. I don't think it's dying, but I do feel like it's a different community, and they care about different things than the other eras of when airsofters started playing. I think it's just different. I don't feel like it's dying though. I think the original culture is not the same culture now though.
Oh yeah, I mean it's like any hobby. I mean trends come and go, and different aspects of those hobbies follow those trends.
Yeah.
I mean you look at anything, like we've talked about skiing and snowboarding on the last couple lives.
Yeah.
And what were people wearing 20 years ago versus today when they skied or snowboarded? What brands were out there? What was the best thing to buy 20 years ago? And then, like you said, 2014, Airsoft. How is that different than today? It's just trends. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. I mean, the automotive world, like early 2000s.
Oh, dude, yeah.
The Rice style vehicles, it was the hottest thing, and now it's different. So I think that airsoft is always going to be this like, oh, it's dying or it's changing. But I think it's just a trend that's either coming to an end or starting.
Yeah.
I think that's how I look at it. So
What else do we have?
Airsoft will die when we die. We just have to make a pact not to die. Fair enough. The AMP staff these days is top tier, I will say. Thank you, Vic.
Thanks, man.
It's all about family. Thank you, Vin Diesel. Victor Diesel. When are y'all getting Wolverine Cat 5s back in stock? Need a new player kit set up.
This got brought up 2 days ago in a meeting. We are waiting for Wolverine to fulfill the shipment. I think they're partially fulfilled on their end, so it should be shipping out to us within the next week or two. And they're in Tennessee. It's like a 2-day ship. So within the next week or two, we'll have Cat 5s.
There you go. Bragging rights for Bourbon Street. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like the golden age of airsoft was around 2012 to 2015. I'd also have to agree.
I'd agree with that.
Mine's a little later. I'd say starting at 2015. But once again, this comes back to something you have to ask yourself occasionally when it comes to, like, I don't know, like I find myself enjoying older video games. We've talked about Call of Duty on here.
Yeah.
Is it the game that was that much better, or was it the time in your life when you played that game that made it so much better?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what was different about your life in 2012 to 2015 when you were playing Airsoft compared to now?
Yeah.
Is that why it was better, or was the gameplay itself actually better? It probably was actually better.
Yeah.
I won't lie about that. I think it actually was. But I do think that there's a lot of other contributing factors to that as well.
Yeah, especially because, like, you know, when we were playing Airsoft, like it was 2008 to, like, you know, 2014 was kind of the main years that I started playing. And when you're playing at that field and you're playing with that community, like, of that time frame, you know, those people have aged like you have aged, and now it's a much different scenario. Call of Duty is a perfect example. Like, a perfect example.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of people that wish to have another, you know, we wish so much for a Call of Duty 4 remake, and we got it. And it totally was not the same thing, because it was different matchmaking. It was different. It was modern.
Mm-hmm.
It was a modern take of what we wanted, but what we wanted was the community we had back then, you know, everything that was of that time period, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that that's what makes it so much different. Yeah, guys, we will be doing the giveaway here in a moment. So if you want to text your friends or let them know that is going to be given away here in the next minute or so.
Yep.
We will get back to all the questions that have not been answered yet, but we're going to be giving you guys a few more seconds to get here and watch and get ready to take home your new OTS.
It's time.
Is it time? Oh my God, there it is.
1:30.
We're pulling it.
Okay, so it's right here. Winners are being determined for the OTS. Winners, Ross, I can't read that.
You can't read that on this TV.
CZOFT.
CZOFT
You have just one.
is the winner of
This.
the OTS.
48 hours to respond, or we will give it to somebody else.
You have 48 hours to respond to our DM that Ross is going to be sending out here in about 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't, we'll move on to the next person. So keep your DMs open. If you know CZ Airsofter, I forget his name already.
CZ Oft.
CZ Oft.
Yeah.
Let him know. And make sure he gets his toy gun. So it'll be pinned in the comments so you guys can see that. What's our next one? Do we know? Okay, we don't know our next giveaway just yet, but
We'll have it coming up here soon.
yes. I hope these are good and you guys enjoy them. I hope that it's cool to come here and potentially win a toy gun. If you guys like it, let us know. We'll continue to do it. And if not, we'll probably keep doing it anyway.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of you guys like it. Yeah, congratulations to the winner, and with that, we'll get back to the questions.
Yeah, don't leave the live yet. Just because the gun's given away doesn't mean that we aren't still here for another half an hour.
Yeah.
Jeez. Y'all just here for free stuff. And then like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. I don't even blame you, to be honest. But here we go. How difficult would it be for y'all to distribute overseas EU products like German Begada? What is that? Begadi?
Oh, distribute overseas EU products. So we would distribute in the U.S. for those products. It's super easy. Hit us up at sales@ampedAirsoft.com. We do have kind of an internal process. We don't really have like a form submittal at this point, but we do a lot of different EU products distribution in the U.S. So email us, and if you have different stuff or you have a contact for the company that you want the product to be distributed in the U.S., we will definitely sit down with that company and work with them. We're always open to those kinds of things, especially niche products that are really cool and good that really haven't gotten a lot of attention. We'd love to bring those in the U.S. and try and get some more attention in the U.S. market.
Yes, Graybush, you're always here. I know.
Yeah, he's here every week.
Always here. Till he's got to go back to work. You got to change your schedule or something. I think there's some questions on YouTube.
Yeah.
Eric, you're right. The Spider-Man safe face mask was the high watermark of Airsoft.
Yeah.
And no, you did not win your date with Tom.
No.
I'm sorry. Let's see. What do we got?
You just DM me. We could talk sweet nothings, in DMs.
I almost missed it.
Yeah, you almost missed it. Yep.
Have you heard about the RDX Boss unit?
Yeah, I was wondering where that was coming up.
Or have heard it in use at an AMS event? If so, what are your thoughts?
So I have one. And I am very close to the guys at Zulu Outdoor and Zulu 24, who are the U.S. distributors for it. It's really cool. It's really fun. You do have to be okay with doing some soldering and install, or have a tech that's okay doing it. It's expensive, but I do think it actually is worth it for what it adds to your gun, other than weight.
Yeah.
It's a very bulky grenade launcher on the bottom of your gun. It adds some weight, but it's really loud, which for some people is fun and for others it's not. And it does add some actual recoil to your gun that you might not be able to achieve in any other way, especially if you're running HPA, which is really, really cool. Like I said, it is expensive right now, and Zulu Outdoors is the only person in the U.S. that's distributing it currently. So I find it very cool. I know that there's some mixed feelings on it. Should it be considered blank fire? I don't believe so, because it's just a sound device in reality. It is loud. It's about the same sound as a 22 out of a long barrel. So keep that in mind. It's quite loud. I have heard it at Iron Horse because Dave, the owner of Zulu 24, was running at Iron Horse last year at Guardian Center. So that was an AMS that I heard it at, and it was pretty fun and quite loud when he was entering the urban rooms down there. So I think it's really cool. I really want to hear and see more people playing with it, because I think it would add so much fun to games just to have more kind of sound effects and stuff going off, and that added recoil and that added fun factor on your gun is great. There's some things with it that I definitely think still need ironed out as a product, and there's definitely some growing pains of like putting it on your gun, how it's gonna affect how your gun works and everything. The weight of it is just something to deal with. I mean, you're putting a giant object on your gun. It's going to be heavy. But the recoil added onto a gun that might not be ready for recoil, the sound and you being, polite about using that sound around others and, trying not to outwardly blow their ears off, because that's not fun for anybody. You're getting it to make it more fun for people, or I hope you are, and make it more fun for yourself. Putting it up to somebody's ear through a window on purpose is not going to be fun, and that's going to get it banned from places, Like, that's not going to be okay. But, if people use it right and people play with it and have fun with it, I think it's going to be a great thing for Airsoft. I think it's going to add a lot of fun for outdoor play, and for some fields that'll allow it for indoor within reason.
Where are we at here?
Yeah, I saw it. There's like a few other things.
Yeah, well, E-House said, gun to your head, one has to go, boss or blank fire.
Oh, like in Airsoft. That's hard. Gun to your head, one has to go. I would remove blank fire. For a few reasons. One is that I feel like the boss system eliminates a safety hazard that the people who use blank rifles are very good at mitigating. It would also allow events to run at a lower cost because of insurance reasons, and I feel like some people would feel better about running around with a boss unit player than some blank fire players. Players, I don't mean staff. Generally people, I feel like if you're a player and you see a staff member running a blank fire gun, you are okay with that. But if you're seeing another player and you don't know, like, what's his qualifications for running, a real firearm with a blank adapter on it, like, is this, who is this individual? Is this a safe individual? I feel like a lot of players would be more comfortable running next to somebody who's running a boss system, which cannot fire any type of projectile. This is a gun to my head. I like running blank fire. I still will run blank fire even though I own a boss system. But gun to my head, if I had to get rid of one, I would probably say get rid of blank fire. Blank fire, though, you can have different weapons currently that are blank fire, like AKs, M4s,
Right.
Everything you can put a blank fire adapter on, because you put a real gun with a blank fire adapter and have blanks shoot out of it, and you get a lot more variety, a lot more engagement and realism, and it's louder.
Mm-hmm.
It's very fun. But if it's a gun to my head, I would get rid of blank fire, seriously.
I think I would also get rid of blank fire. I think the reason being is with the boss, it kind of has the potential to introduce more of like an immersion style like sound that you get from the boss, but in a larger, a wider range of events.
Yeah.
So like we could see more noise and more of like blank fire action at a broad scale of events. But if we're just talking about blank fire, it's very limited to where it can go.
Yeah.
So I think as much as I absolutely love blank fire, and I think it's so cool and it's
so much fun.
You can't replicate it.
No.
To have something that's a comparable substitute that is safer to be used in every place, I think has more potential for use than just blank fire.
Yeah, I think there's inherent hoops to jump through, which creates a problem for blank fire use, and a lot of those hoops get removed with a system like the boss unit, and so it's going to be a lot easier to have and at a wider range of things. I would keep that.
All right. With the boss, I can still play blank fire. Oh, I can with the boss, I can still play blank fire. I cannot, and it's much cheaper than blank fire.
Yes, over time, it is much cheaper than blank fire.
Very true.
Blank rounds are quite expensive nowadays.
I'm a squad lead for my local field monthly MILSM events, and with the boss, I've been able to give newcomers the same feeling I had when I was at an MSW event.
Yeah.
And there you go.
It's really cool seeing a guy stand next to you and like the bolt racks and a round comes out and like he keeps firing and is screaming, go, 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 go. Like it's really cool. You look over and you see that and it's like, wow, this is awesome. The boss is not going to do that, but it's going to get very close to that same thing where you are hearing blank fire in the distance and you're hearing things and you feel like the environment is much more immersive. In environments that would be much more or almost impossible absolutely restrictive on blank fire. Like, you could not use it there.
But yeah, what was the other thing I saw Jordan say?
Yeah.
So for event producers like AMS, Line Claws, and similar that use AOs like Fort Hood, when facilities being used on base, you can bring the boss, you can't bring blanks.
And that's another really good point is,
Yeah.
you know, there's certain AOs, certain restrictive places that will not let you run they won't let real firearms on the premise
Right.
for some of them.
So I think the boss has a more flexible usage,
Yeah.
which I like. I'm trying to HPA my Jag scattergun, and the amped external line is leaking at the QD female adapter. If I push the QD into the male connector, the leak stops. So I'm guessing the O-ring is done. Yeah. So shoot us a video, explaining where your leak is. Maybe use some soapy water so we can see it. To sales@ampedairsoft.com. They do carry a lifetime warranty if it is a manufacturer defect. So if the O-ring did go bad just from normal use, we'll send you a new one.
Yeah.
So hit us up. We'll help you out. But okay, and then it says, is the O-ring that needs to be replaced the Foster 2032 fitting Buna-Seal W2-2 for the amp line and regular fitting? So if so, any advice on how to replace it? If you want to just replace that gasket, literally the Foster's fitting is very, very easy to do.
Yeah.
Wrench on the top and then the bottom of the two flat sides, or like the hexagonal sides of the 2202, twist it off, and then when you take it off, make sure that the silver, I guess the further section, is facing down, because there's going to be a spring and a gasket.
Yep.
And then you can just pull it out, put your new gasket in. You can even inspect your current gasket. Sometimes over time and use, they'll like shift a little bit. That's why it seals when you put your male end in, because it's like putting it back into place.
Yep.
So take it apart, fumble around with it, and then worst case, replace it, or we can send you a new line. It's up to you. So very easy to work on. How come the Fusion engine is more expensive than the Jack system? Isn't the Fusion engine a much older model?
That's a really great question. We actually don't get that one a lot. It's much more expensive for a few reasons. One, you do get a lot more features with the Fusion engine than you do a Jack unit. So Jack is a single solenoid unit versus the Fusion engine is a dual solenoid unit. It is one of the oldest units still on the market today, but you still have that dual solenoid in there, and you also have a fully machined gearbox body, which is a lot more material, a lot more cost, a lot more manufacturing for that as well. There's a few other benefits to the Fusion engine over a Jack or even a F2, which is another dual solenoid system. But the main reason why it is much more expensive is because of the machining costs and because you get more features with a Fusion engine over a Jack.
Yeah. So the Fusion engine has also been updated many times.
Yeah.
So it is an old system, but it's a modern iteration of the original.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
The original was crazy. It was the craziest innovation that Airsoft had ever seen.
The FCU was so big.
Yeah, it was wild. The wires, everything, man.
Yeah.
It was really, really crazy. So, yeah, the Fusion engine is your OG.
Well, guys, there's 15 minutes left, so we're going to talk about some announcements and stuff. And basically, we're going to get into some things that we're going to be doing this year and some changes that are going to be happening at AMP this year. So first off, this year, we're going to be trying to get out to games like we've always been. We're going to be trying to really see you guys as much as we can. We're going to be a lot more pointed about it this year. This weekend, we actually do have Gun Gamers out at Skirmish, PA, and that'll be the only event for, honestly, a few months because it's the winter season. So we're not having a lot of events until probably, actually, April. Even we'll have some in March, like 1 or 2 in March, I think. But yeah, and then we do have some other big changes coming, and some positive ones, and we're really happy to talk about that. But You want to talk about it?
Oh, is that my transitional?
Yeah, I was
thing?
trying to figure out a transition.
Oh, I was just gonna wait, but and say it. But let's see. So, guys, this is a very, very difficult piece of news to bring to you. But as we always say on the Lunchtime Live, you guys are the first to know. This will very sadly be my last Lunchtime Live here at Amped Airsoft. It's really it really sucks, and I have so much fun doing these, and I've had a lot of fun at the company and met amazing people, and it's really a bummer, to be quite honest. But you know, as I get older and as life changes, I have to adapt and make changes that are better for myself. So this is the last Lunchtime Live. It's really strange. Going into it, it felt like any other Lunchtime Live, but
Yeah, you guys keep bringing up the past, and it was like really bothering. You guys keep bringing up like, what was Airsoft? What is it?
what was it like?
Yeah, I was like, man, we had to get these questions today.
So overall, it's a tough piece of news to bring. It wasn't made lightly.
No.
My decision was not made lightly at all, but it was something that, like I said, it was something for me and something that I needed to do to grow and continue moving forward. But that doesn't mean that Airsoft isn't going to still continue to be a very large part of my life and my interests and my hobbies. I mean, I've been doing it for 15 years. It's not going to change. And I still am going to be playing probably more than I have been.
Yeah.
So figured you guys would be the first to know. So I want to say thank you for the support and the love that I always get from everyone here on the Lunchtime Live and at all the events and all the amazing people that I've met through this company. That'll be a forever thing for me that I'll hold on to when I continue to move forward in my ever-growing life. But yeah, that's my that's the transition that we made here. It is a huge bummer.
Yeah.
And now I'm rambling, if you couldn't tell.
The good news with this is, you're gonna get to do stuff that you really want to do. You're gonna move in a field that you really want to be in. Like I'm really, all of us at the company are really sad to see you go, but at the same time very happy for what you decided to go do. And I mean, you and I talked.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we've
yeah,
we've talked about this for a while.
So, no, not the random interactions of events. I'll never forget Wes getting yelled at by the rando at TGI Fridays in Minneapolis. Thank you guys. I mean, it means the world. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. That's the other good thing. I'm still gonna play toy guns, and I want to continue to see everyone that I've been so lucky enough to call my friends, and I think that I'm hopeful, So, E-House, thank you very much. Yeah, I want to definitely play some Gun Gamers stuff. Jordan, I'm coming up to Zulu. I'm going to be doing that for sure. I've been talking about coming up and playing there. So, it means a lot. It really does. And it sucks. I mean,
It does.
I've never had to leave a job for, I guess, like personal drive. I don't know how to word that because I've been here so long.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is entirely like your decision and everything. And I mean, when you and I talked personally about all this, we've been talking for a while about it. And I wholeheartedly love that you're going to go do what you're going to go do. Like, I'm very happy for you.
No, and I appreciate that from everyone. but we're gonna play some toy guns. I promise.
Yeah, guys.
It'll be fun. Yo, on the real, you two need to actually come play.
Yeah, I know, Jordan.
I should be good. I should be good.
I was gonna say you.
I'll be good for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'll try to do some traveling. But yeah, I'm not gonna continue to bring the mood down here. So if you guys, there are a few questions. I'm gonna at least
Finish it out.
finish it out with answering some lunchtime live questions. But yeah, you always find out the news here. We love the live.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Specca. I can't read, but thank you for. I will take your lock on my future endeavors. Where are we here?
It's left with Amped West. Thank you, Logan. I was alerted. What? I was like, I brag. I see you show up. Oh God. Yeah, no.
I was just alerted.
I was just alerted. Let me see.
So, can we hear this Wes got yelled at a Friday story? That one is very vague because I remember it being freezing cold, and I was with Ryan, and we were at the Airsoft Con.
What is it?
I'm
Minnesota,
pretty sure.
Minnesota Airsoft Con?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell happened? Why did I get yelled at? Why did I get yelled at?
I don't know. You probably had like one too many.
No, I don't antagonize.
No, you don't. That's the funniest part.
I'll miss you too. I'll miss all of you guys. I will. But with the joy of social media,
Yeah.
we can still stay in touch. That's the coolest thing. Shut up, Logan. 8 minutes left. 7 now. Are you gonna do like a countdown?
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I will take all the wishes. I appreciate it. I'll miss you too. But we'll be playing. You'll be able to catch me on the field as an Airsoft player.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. It is weird how the universe works in weird ways, where we are talking about the glory days, the golden days of.
That was killing me. Like
yeah.
I was like, seriously, this is what you guys are bringing up right now.
Yeah. So.
I was like, what the heck?
Yeah. So I think that I want to really try to get back to that for myself.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, we talk about it all the time about burnout and working in the industry and everything, and now all you've been talking about ever since the decision was made, like all you've been talking about is, I think I'm gonna go do this. I think I'm gonna go play here. I think I'm going with my buddy this weekend and playing here. And I was like, you're like playing more than you have in like the last year.
Yeah, it should be a healthy move for myself, like I said. And burnout, you're right, Frag. It's definitely real.
Yeah.
And it happens. And that's not the reasons. I don't want anyone. That's not the reasons. I'm not that burnt out from it because I've been kind of taking that time for myself in small increments for a little while now.
Yeah.
Which does help with a transition into different things. So
I wish you guys could be looped in on like him and I talking about this, of like the personal decisions behind it, because it's not like a negative one. It's like I'm very happy for him of what he's gonna go and do.
yeah, and I've got the support of a lot of people from here, so no hard feelings, and I'm glad. So, Frag, if you'll actually be in Pittsburgh, is it next week? Just message me.
Yeah,
I'd love to see it. So
West will become a speed softer.
thank you, Logan. Yep, that's the news. I will never do Milsim again. I am officially joining Speedsoft.
Yeah, just definitely not Chinese recreation.
Amped Wes now Amped Wes now, just Wes. I've always been Wes, bro.
Yeah.
So
Yo, you can just name the Wesley Snipes now.
someone suggested that I change my Instagram name to Milsim Wes.
Oh my God.
Sign Wes.
No.
If you guys have it, if you guys have any suggestions for the IG, I want to keep posting and keep, doing what I enjoy doing, but I don't know what to change it to. So
Yeah.
Wes, former Amped MLG. Oh my God, frag, killing me. Yep, maybe I'll just call it just Wes. There you go.
That'd be funny. I mean, honestly, that'd be pretty it.
Wes meet and greet at Bolt Bash
Yeah.
2025.
Milsim West, yeah.
Just yes, Milsim West for sure. Wes gonna funnel all his airsoft money into his car. I can't wait to see the updates.
Which one?
We need a house, bro. We need a house. That's what we need. We need the house and the garage and then the cars. So we got it all.
I sent you the house.
Yeah,
Sent you the 7-car garage.
you showed me that a while ago. That was crazy.
Dude, I actually went and drove by that thing. Oh my God, that thing is nuts.
Well, it seems like Milsim West is
That's
a hit.
really funny.
I think we should. We'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. That's funny. Well, I hope that that doesn't cause me any grief.
I don't think it would.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna start getting DMs. Do you guys allow this for your events?
That will happen.
I'll be like, nah. I'll start saying yes. I'm like, absolutely.
You know how it's MSW? You just need to do just like MW.
Yeah. Just
MWS. And it's just, that's it.
Oh, God. No way. Oh, my God. Be a menace.
Oh,
Become a menace.
That would be so funny.
Goodness gracious. Oh, man. I'm glad that should stick. I hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what we do with the cars too, Gazelle. I'll see, Mr. Mans. I don't know. I have a lot to do.
Yeah.
Lots of broken vehicles, and airsoft guns. But now, hopefully the spark will drive me forward into fixing everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Come on, Logan. Where's my countdown here?
Yeah, he's great, dude. He's been really
Yeah, we got an
on it,
8-minute update, and then that was it.
We have 1 minute left until 2 o'clock.
It's wild.
That's nuts.
But I'll say it again because I want to. Thank you guys. Genuinely. It has been a long and good 9 years. If you didn't know I was here that long, now you know.
Yeah, that's crazy.
9 years here at Amped, and I appreciate all of you. And I'm excited to see where the future takes me. Hopefully to more fields.
Yeah, seriously.
See more places, travel for myself. So it's been real. So cue up Goodbye Stranger. But in all seriousness, guys, we are going to continue to do the live. So thank you guys again, and make sure to tune in next Wednesday for the Lunchtime Live from 1 to 2.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.